I finished my first week of coding boot camp. How did it go? Let's go through this together. Hey, welcome to another video. I'm Peter, and if it's your first time here and you want to learn to code and you want to stay motivated to reach that goal and change your life, then start now by subscribing and click that little bell icon so you don't miss anything. Hey, if you have been following my channel, you know that I have gotten accepted into a coding boot camp, and this was my very first week that I just finished, and I wanted to just kind of share some of my feelings and thoughts about it. The reason that I kind of started this channel is so that people can kind of follow behind me and see some of my frustrations, see some of my awesome moments when I'm learning to code, and I just couldn't find that anywhere on YouTube. And so this is where hopefully you can just feel like you can come and you've got a big brother, or you've got a friend that you can turn to who's maybe a few steps ahead of you on the path of learning to code, and you can feel like, man, if he can do it, I can do it. So like I said, this was my first week at coding boot camp. I'll tell you what, it was exhausting. I will certainly say that. It was awesome. It was unbelievably frustrating at times. The coding boot camp that I'm going to starts a little higher than a lot of the coding boot camps. You already have to know HTML, CSS, and be pretty good at JavaScript before you can get in. And so in week one, I'm just going to kind of read over some of the things that we did, because I don't have it all like memorized, ready to just blurt out on this video. I'm just going to kind of go over some of the things that we did so that you can kind of see where I'm at. We started looping through arrays of objects and like isolating the keys of those objects so that you can manipulate them however you want to. String templates. We went over higher order functions, arrow functions. You know, I've been studying already for about 4 months before I got into the boot camp, and so the thing is I do know a lot of this stuff, but the truth is that again, when you are faced with an empty screen and you've got to do it yourself, it's like, oh man, I thought I knew this, you know? And it's like a very uncomfortable place to be. But you know, a lot of the other people, there's 8 other people in my class and 1 person who's doing it remotely, so 9 people altogether, or I guess 10 people with me. But you know, people are at different levels of what they already know, and it seems to me that I'm like always at the bottom, but I know that a lot of other people also feel the same way. And what I did learn is that I wish that I would have done more repetition when learning, for instance, functions or for loops or arrays. I mean, I do understand them and I can work with them, but I was always at a level where if I didn't understand something, I could take my time and, you know, watch a video about it or read some of the documentation about it or whatever, and kind of slowly work through a problem, and I would always be able to get there. But the great thing about this coding boot camp is that you have got to do it right now. And in 10 minutes, you've got to do another one very similar to it right now, over and over and over and over again. And it's a type of situation that I'm a self-starter in life. You know, I've been doing my own business now for 10 years. I don't need somebody to hold my hand to get stuff done in life. But I can't imagine that there's somebody out there who can push themselves as hard as you get pushed in a coding boot camp, at least the one I'm going to. And it is awesome. I mean, that is kind of what you pay for, partly anyway, is so that you've got somebody who is just pushing the thumb screws down, twisting them as hard as they can so that you are getting this done. You're getting it done, and you will learn it, you will learn it. But it is uncomfortable. My teacher is awesome. We're going to have 2 teachers that cycle through the 3 months, and the teacher is just very kind, incredibly talented at coding, but also very good at being able to explain things on a level where, for people who are kind of newbies, you know, I mean, 4 months in, you're still frankly a newbie. But here were a couple of the things that he said that kind of stuck in my mind. I got them jotted down here, so I'm going to glance away from the camera for a second. Confusion is good. Confusion is good. Well, why the heck is confusion good? Well, confusion means at least you know what you're going towards. You haven't gotten it figured out yet, but at least you understand the overarching idea of it, but you don't know how to use it yet. I certainly found myself in that circumstance. Oh, confused. Confused to the point where, listen, I'm a grown man. I have had genuine hardships in my life. I'm not being a crybaby about it, but I'm just saying I am no wimp. And on Thursday at about 11 o'clock during the coding boot camp, it had been so much for so long that I almost cried. I almost did. I had fight back some tears because I was so beat up and so frustrated about just a certain little thing that's silly. And the reason I'm telling you about that is because it is a rough road to learn to code. And you see so many things on YouTube where it's learn to code in 8 minutes or whatever this stupid thing is. That is just simply not true. And it is worth learning it. And it is going to be extremely frustrating. Another thing that he said was learning is not linear. And that's important, I think. That was something that stuck in my mind. He's like, it's not always just building blocks on building blocks. You'll go through kind of waves where you're down and where you're up, and where one thing will not make sense. One thing just will not make sense to you, and that is okay. In about a week, it'll make sense to you. Or if it's a month, it'll make sense to you. But it's not always just point A to point B. You might be way past point B and start understanding things in a different way and be able to go back and look back and go, oh, that's what the heck that stupid thing was. And that's a very common thing too. Also, you will get stuck. I'll tell you what, I got stuck. It's really kind of humbling when you are stuck when it seems like everybody around you isn't stuck. Well, it certainly happened to me quite a few times this week. And that is also okay. It is okay to get stuck and not know what to do. And the nice thing, the beauty of this coding boot camp is that, I've been self-studying since January. It's mid-May now. And, you can get yourself stuck into a situation where you just are grinding, spinning your wheels, not understanding and not having anybody to ask what the heck this stupid little thing is. If you just understood this one little silly thing, then you would be able to move forward leaps and bounds, but you just can't figure it out. And sometimes it's you read everything you can read, you watch a video, it just doesn't work. I had this one little problem with a for loop that just for some reason I couldn't get it in my stupid head. And I spent a week on that dang thing, 2 weeks, when it would have easily been solved and I would have understood it in 10 minutes or 5 minutes, So just understand that you'll get stuck. You can always ask me about things in the comments, Hopefully I will know the answer and be able to help you out. If I'm a little bit ahead of you, great. I've got people, everybody's got somebody behind them, everybody's got somebody in front of them. And the thing is that we need to be able to help each other out without embarrassment. You need to be able to ask for help without embarrassment. It's important. I will say that the other students in my cohort, dude, they're awesome. Really, so wanting to help. We get paired up to kind of code or whatever the thing is, partner code. And it really is awesome to do that too, where you can kind of talk through problems with somebody, even when they don't understand it. It's a good way to just kind of get your thoughts aligned in your own mind, where you go, okay, well, even saying it out loud sometimes, it's just, that's the clicker. You're like, oh, okay, yeah. I didn't return the stupid thing in the function, or whatever silly little thing it is. It's awesome to be able to have somebody to just kind of talk it over with. But if you don't have somebody like that, try to do it for yourself. Just try to talk over like you're explaining that situation to somebody else. And I think you'll find that really that does help your brain. It helps your brain to just kind of sort out the logic of it. So I hope that this can help you to understand what it's like to be in a coding boot camp. I'm going to be doing these updates, hopefully at least weekly. And if you've got any other questions that I might have, missed out on talking about, just leave them in the comments. I'll gladly get back to you. I'm here to help you in any way that I can. God bless you, and keep coding every day, friend. Keep coding every day. We'll see you in the next video. What do you say when you want to quit?
I don't quit!